replay. So it is 6 o'clock. I'm going to turn this over to Lisa.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Tinkle. I'm a director with Pampered Chef, and Rocky is my upline director, and she's also a senior director through Pampered Chef. Tonight, we wanted to just hop on here and see if anybody wanted to learn about what it's like to be a consultant. I mean, you might have a lot of ideas, but you might not have any ideas. So tonight, I'm going to interview Rocky. I'm going to give her some questions. And maybe you'll be able to relate to some things that she's went through as a consultant. And maybe you'll realize that, hey, maybe I could do this too, right, Rocky?
Yeah.
Well, the first question for Rocky is just tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, my name is Rocky Preston, and I live in Southern Arizona. My husband and I are empty nesters. My husband's retired from the Border Patrol, and I have been with Pampered Chef 25 years. So it's gone through a lot of life changes, like kids, young kids, full-time work, uh, pregnancies, moves, illnesses, serious illnesses, all those things that life throws at everybody. And, it hasn't skipped a beat. It's kept me employed for 25 years.
That's awesome. Well, Rocky, can you tell me what was your life like before you did Pampered Chef?
Okay, yeah. So before I did Pampered Chef, I worked um, for a small growing company in Southern California. And I was the customer service manager, and it was busy. And then we had kids, and there just wasn't enough time. I didn't know at that time, like I would desperately want to stay home with them. My husband was a young Border Patrol agent, worked shift work, and so we didn't know if we were coming or going, and our weekends were just as busy. So enter Pampered Chef. I went to a party. The consultant rattled off a few things that piqued my curiosity. She said she stayed home with her kids. She said that her income paid several bills. She had bought a motorcycle for her husband and paid that. And she learned to cook through her Pampered Chef business. And I was like, it was everything I wanted, especially the stay at home with the kids. So I thought I certainly got to give this a try.
Well, what were some of the things that were maybe making you nervous or you were scared about trying Pampered Chef? What made you hesitate?
Yeah. Well, I just thought these kind of things, these consultant things, it's embarrassing to say, were beneath me. Like I wasn't going to do that. I had a great job. Um, I got paid well. Uh, and the other thing is, I didn't cook. I didn't want to cook. Um, and I really just was kind of scared that I would flop. Nobody was going to buy anything. Nobody was going to book any parties with me. And just as quickly as I signed up, it would be over. So, but that thing that I could stay home with my kids, um, just tugged at me. And I had to at least give it a try.
Great. Can you tell me some things that you feel like your family has benefited from you being a Pampered Chef consultant?
Oh, yeah. Well, that one thing, being able to raise your kids, pass your values on to them, take them to school, pick them up, be in the classroom, all of those things that I envisioned that, that I would want to do did come true. And I could really put those big important things first, and then schedule my Pampered Chef business around that. And that was a beautiful thing. That is just a couple nights ago. My husband said, your Pampered Chef business has survived some pretty, I'll call it business traumatic things. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I had worked somewhere else, if I would still be able to work at those places, you know. But it's been flexible enough that I was able to figure things out.
Great. When you're at home, can you tell me what an average day is for you?
Yeah. Let's see. I wake up, I let my dogs out and feed them, put on the coffee, and I'll drink my coffee and kind of scroll through my Facebook parties and answer work as I'm just sipping my coffee. My husband wakes up, we'll have coffee together. And then I'll go for a walk. Sometimes I'll get dressed, sometimes I won't. And I'll pop in and work. So I never thought I would be running business when I started 25 years ago, running business like I do today. Sometimes I work outside, sometimes I'm working in my office, sometimes I work at my dad's house, like yesterday. I popped on in a meeting from my dad's house. And so it just depends what's going on. But usually I'm in and out of my between my office and my kitchen, because of course that is official work too, cooking something. So yeah.
Well, I know you pretty much work your business full time.
Yes.
Um, I know some people choose not to work full time. So, what would you say is an average consultant? What would an average consultant do?
Yeah. We see most consultants work this right along a full-time job. Most consultants I find just want three or 400 extra dollars a month. That fun money, a little wiggle room. And then there is some that say, I want this kind of lifestyle. I need this kind of flexibility, and I need to make, full-time income. It's either this, for me, it's either this or go get a job 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, or whatever they schedule me. Those are my choices. And I certainly don't want the latter. I don't want to go to work. Yeah.
I have one more question. Since you've been doing this for 20 years,
25.
25, why do you stay? Do you think maybe you might not do this at some time, or what's your plan?
Yeah. So that's kind of funny that you say that, because I used to joke and I used to say this line at my shows that this is simple enough that I will do it till I'm old and gray. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's now. um, but so I have always had this plan that this is simple enough that I could do till I was old and gray. Um, it keeps me learning. It keeps me with people talking, chatting, um, you know, uh, uh, talking about making money is always fun. But and it is just that kind of business that hits all of the buttons for me. Every single button. If I think I could have my dream job, I would be like, oh no, that's too demanding on my time. Oh no, I might get tired of doing that day after day. This offers so many different elements that come into play every day that keeps it exciting. We kind of have our own support system here, whether it's personal support or business support. And it just happens to be that, everybody likes to talk about making money too.
Right. Well, we don't want to stop the meeting until you have talked about what Pampered Chef gives you. I know you've got products, you've got flexibility with working, you get rewarded a nice commission. What's coming up that we're all saving for next year? I'd like you to talk about that a little
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The
bit.
big thing, like the other big thing why I would never stop, is because I've earned 24 trips with Pampered Chef.
It's 20.
And we would never, ever, ever get to travel like we do with Pampered Chef. So the Pampered Chef trip, uh, incentive is every year there's a different destination. This year we're working on Walt Disney World for 4 people. We could, so it's the consultant plus 3 other people that you want to bring along.